Hi everyone, today Dash and I are going to be presenting our PHP 2 project. In this presentation we'll cover a background, some project updates, challenges we faced, as well as some key takeaways and learnings from the project. So meet Dash. Dash is a senior at Stanford studying design. For his PHP 1 project, he focused on physical health by replacing his biking with walking. And so for his PHP 2 practice, he decided to practice gratitude and reflection instead. So he writes, his original mission statement was to write down 3 good things that happened to him that day. And then at the end of the week, he planned to pick out one of the things, and if it involved a person, he would reach out to them and tell them how they positively impacted his week. Dash's progress was pretty steady throughout the project. In week 1, he didn't miss many days, and he shifted from writing 3 good things to just reflecting on things he learned throughout the day as a more open-ended journaling prompt. In week 2, he was able to notice trends in small things that brought him joy, like calling a friend, visiting old co-workers, or making coffee at home. And he found it easy to stick to the habit and started using the thank you notebook from class. And then in week 3, he's continued on with the habit, and he hopes to continue this habit past the project.
Now that you've heard a little bit about my personal health project, it's time to introduce Claire. Claire is a sophomore studying human biology, and her mission for the second personal health project was to incorporate journaling and reflection into her daily routine, with an added element of creative expression. Since both of our first PHPs were centered around physical health, we mutually agreed to hone in on a goal that would be mentally stimulating instead. Claire had previously expressed interest in being more mindful and reflective of her daily actions, and she believed that writing down 3 good things that happened to her each day was a tangible and feasible place to start. And additionally, she planned to create a collage at the end of each week that was representative of the 3 positive actions that she experienced. We thought that engaging in a similar habit for our second PHP would add a layer of accountability and keep us both motivated. Moving on to tracking Claire's progress. In week 1, she reported missing no days at all and found it easy to stick to her goal of writing her 3 good things right before going to bed. In week 2, Claire took a weekend trip to LA and unfortunately left her journal on campus. She got slightly off track, but was still able to practice the same reflective activity by recording her 3 good things through the Notes app. And then in week 3, Claire got back on track and is looking forward to continuing this reflective practice even beyond PHP 2. She even set a longer-term goal for herself of writing longer journal entries. Here's a photo of Claire's journal that sat on her desk over the course of the last 3 weeks, serving as a visual prompt. And then on the right are a couple of the collages that she made based on the 3 good things that happened to her each week. One major pattern that Claire noticed was that her joy came from 3 main sources, one being going for runs, the second being sharing meals with friends, and the third being spontaneous encounters and run-ins that she had on campus. There's a lot of existing research on the synergy between gratitude and creative practices, and one main benefit that Claire found was drawing inspiration from unexpected sources, which she captured through photography.
Because we shared a very similar PHP project, Dash and I also shared many challenges and takeaways. So the first was remembering to actually do the journaling. We both used a physical journal, which served as our prompt because it was out there and we could see it. And when I forgot, I would just continue on and journal the next day, but I definitely preferred to have my daily reflections at the end of the day. The next challenge was consistency. If one day was missed, for example, on a weekend, it tended to snowball. And so it's important to get back on track after you miss a day. And then for Dash, he found it easier to call his friends who impacted his day positively rather than texting, just because it's a more spontaneous interaction. So he pivoted to that throughout week 3.
In our journey, there were many keys that contributed to our success. The first being prioritizing physical over digital mediums, not just because writing in a physical notebook was a visual reminder, but also because writing in pen and paper forced us to be more decisive. The second was starting small. Our 3 Good Things practice was very attainable and didn't feel like much of a chore, but that naturally allowed it to blossom into writing longer journal entries as the weeks went on. And then lastly, we were cognizant of using our 3 Good Things as a dynamic tool instead of a static one. For me personally, before writing down my 3 good things, I would reflect on the previous day's 3 good things and use that to inform how I chose to spend my time in the future. Lastly, Claire and I wanted to highlight a particular quote from a simple act of gratitude that really captured the essence of our practice. Isolating our gratitude on a smaller scale taught us not to overlook any action, no matter how small, and made it really easy to extend that gratitude to others that impacted us, whether it be in writing or through a simple phone call.
Together, in total, we wrote over 70 plus good things that happened throughout this project and over 25 pages written.